We've got some daytime drama ratings updates for the week of July 27th through the 31st, so the end of July. And let's just see how all the soaps fared at the end of the by the end of the month. So once again, the rankings for total viewers: Y&R, Bold and the Beautiful, General Hospital, Beyond the Gates. So nothing has changed there. For Young and the Restless, week to week they were down about 15,000 viewers. Total viewers, not a huge deal. Year over year, they were up 46,000 viewers. So it seems that it's more of a week-to-week story issue where some viewers just dropped out. Again, as I said in some previous videos, it also could some seasonality plays into it because it's the end of summer, or barreling towards the end of summer, end of July. People are on vacation, kids getting ready to go back to school, parents taking their kids back to college, all those things. So that could play into it as well. For the Bold and the Beautiful and total viewers, they were down 33,000 viewers week to week. This is, I think, the third week that they've been down about the same amount of viewers week to week. So while they've got they've got a big young adult story going on, it just seems that there's an issue with their front burner stories right now where people are tuning out. But the good news is, year over year, they were up 246,000 viewers. So again, the caveat, it could be seasonality. Young and the Restless and Bold and the Beautiful are big in the South. CBS affiliates tend to do really well in the South, C and D counties. And so it could be some seasonality with kids going back to school early in the South and, parents getting ready for that. Again, vacations, last chance vacation time, that kind of stuff. But the year-to-year increases, tell me that it's more about seasonality and a little bit of some storytelling issues. General Hospital was up 78,000 viewers week to week. Now remember, they were suffering some dips as well, so they've bounced back. But year to year, down 128,000 viewers. So there's a little something wonky going on there. For Beyond the Gates, they were up 29,000 viewers week to week, which is good because they too had suffered some week-to-week decreases for about 2 weeks in a row, but they've bounced back, which is interesting given that the two shows ahead of them, Y&R and Bold and the Beautiful, suffered decreases week to week. So Beyond the Gates, people were coming in for the stories. I can't remember what was going on that week, but people were tuning in for the story that was going on. The other piece of good news for total viewers for Beyond the Gate is that they were up 134,000 viewers year to year. So Beyond the Gates is on a roll. And that's why I say, as much as I might not like some of the stuff that we're seeing on screen and how they pace story, the ratings they will the executives at the network and the executive producers and the writers will look at this and say, we're doing the right thing. It's working. So they're not going to make any major changes. So again, in households, we'll just go through really quickly. The rankings are the same: Y&R, B&B, GH, Beyond the Gates. Y&R was the same week to week, up 10% year to year. Bold and the Beautiful was flat week to week, up 10% year to year. GH was up 10% week to week and year to year. And Beyond the Gates was flat week to week in households and up 10% year to year. And the demos, now this is what the networks and the advertisers care about. They don't buy households, they buy demos, they buy actual viewers. So, and the demos, like women 18 to 49, adults 25 to 54, that's what the advertisers are buying. That's what the network salespeople are selling. So in women 18 to 49, Bold and the Beautiful was the number one show of the week of July 27th. It was up 10% week to week in the demo and up 4% year to year. So this is an important lesson because the first batch of numbers I talked about were in total viewers and in households. And so those, like drops, yeah, you pay attention to them and you look at them, and, you want to, the networks can do some deeper research and kind of figure out, what was going on. Maybe was there breaking news that impacted a lot of the markets where, like weather or, some kind of, local news that impacted a bunch of markets that impacted, the total viewership. But when they get to the demos, a plus is always good. For Young and the Restless, number 2. So, Bold and the Beautiful did a 0.3 rating. Young and the Restless did a 0.29. They were up 9% in week to week, and they were up 2%. Oh, they were down 2% year to year. Down 2% year to year. That's a minimal decrease. Nothing to set your hair on fire for. Beyond the Gates, in women 18 to 49, comes in number 3, which is really like it's happened before, but General Hospital usually beats Beyond the Gates in the women 18 to 49 demo. But Beyond the Gates came in with a 0.20 and it was up 5% week to week, up 1% year to year. And GH came in with a 0.18. So there was not a huge gap between General Hospital and Beyond the Gates, but it wasn't like neck and neck. And, General Hospital was up 1% week to week and down 3% year to year. Now that we get to the women at 25 to 54 ratings, Y&R takes the number 1 spot with a 0.41 rating. It was up 9% year to year, down 6%. Up 9% week to week, down 6% year to year. Bold and the Beautiful comes in at number 2 with a 0.37, up 10% week to week, and down 3% year to year. So again, while, the total viewers and households were down some, the demos, the actual viewers were tuning in. That 3% down year to year is negligible, so I wouldn't worry about it too much. Again, Beyond the Gates comes in number 3, ahead of General Hospital. A little bit of a tighter race, but comes in number 3 with a 0.26 rating, up 5% week to week, down 5% year to year. And General Hospital coming at number 4 with a 0.25, so, a little closer to Beyond the Gates, but still Beyond the Gates, for a new soap opera to be beating General Hospital, that's, there are people who got these numbers at CBS, at Paramount, at, in Atlanta, at Beyond the Gates, and they probably toasted themselves because these are impressive numbers. But anyway, General Hospital was flat week to week and down 11% year to year. So even in the demo, both Beyond the Gates and General Hospital were both down in women 25 to 54 year to year, but Beyond the Gates was down less. And Beyond the Gates was actually down less than Young and the Restless year to year. Bold and the Beautiful was down the least of all the shows in women 25 to 54. So, a good week. And then, I think, as I've said in previous videos, I think we'll get a stronger sense of where the shows are from a rating standpoint once we get past Labor Day and kids go back to school, schedules start to even out a little bit more. There won't be a lot of vacations. And then once we have daylight savings and, it starts getting darker earlier, all that stuff, the ratings tend to go up a little bit more because more people, especially where there's a significant change in the weather patterns, people tend to stay home more, watch more television. So they say it's called a households using television, HUTs. They tend to go up when the seasons change from warmer to colder. But anyway, those are the ratings. Nothing. I don't think there was anything there that says, "Oh my God, like what the hell is going on?" We need to panic, especially in the case of Beyond the Gates. I would say for Bold and the Beautiful, 3 weeks of declining week-to-week ratings might say something about the stories that they're telling, but they film close enough to air. They film. They're not 4 months out, that they're able to. They can figure out what's going on and potentially fix some of that stuff. So I'm not too worried about them at this moment either. I will see you guys later.